is Margaret Hirsch on The Move with Margaret, and today we've got another amazing person who is in property. And as you know, I absolutely love property. So welcome to Anita Momberg. And today we're talking about her Femme Property Alliance. Tell us what inspired you to start Femme Property Alliance.
Oh, Margaret, thank you for this platform, and thank you for allowing me to speak about my passion project.
Yeah.
This movement started, it's a registered non-profit organization, and it's an organization that we created to unite, to uplift women in the property space, and to create opportunities for them to grow and step into leadership positions. And this idea started with an on-stage question that I got in 2023 during my Mrs. SA journey.
Yeah.
And that question was, why isn't there more females involved in politics, and why haven't we seen a female president? And I didn't realize at the time how powerful that question was going to be in me starting this movement. So, as you know, 69% of residential real estate is owned by women in South Africa.
Yes.
Yet we don't lead. We don't sit at the tables where the decisions are made in the industry. And with my own experience in the mortgage origination industry, MORCSA, who's the Mortgage Origination Regulatory Council of South Africa, has got a board composition where only 20% is female representation.
Wow, that's incredible.
And I asked myself the question, why is that?
Yes.
And I came to the realization it's because we as women, we need to lift each other up. We need to support each other.
And we need to put ourselves forward.
Absolutely.
To be out there, and not to let the man take the lead, to go and say, I can do this job as well as you.
Correct. And I think that is, this space aims to inspire women to start believing in their abilities. So many times I've shared the story. We are brilliant at admin. We're brilliant at many things.
Yes.
I always say our superpower is multitasking.
Yeah.
When I was appointed chairman at our estate, at our homeowners association, the one trustee asked me to collect the IDs of the trustees. And I said, well, I'm at it. Can I make you a cup of coffee as well? So, they see us to be very efficient, but don't necessarily understand how capable we are.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's done intentionally. It's done subconsciously. So it's up to us to step up and show them.
Up to us as women to step up and step out of the patriarchal society where the man was the boss. Those days are no longer, because women are leading most of the households in South Africa, own over 60% of the property in South Africa. So we should be at the table giving our opinion and directing the things the way we believe that they should be going, not leaving it to the men to give us direction.
Absolutely. Lean in to the conversations that we have amongst each other and enforce those opinions.
Yes.
I think we must understand that the only way we're going to be heard is if we are going to step up and speak up.
And, you know, as women, we are taught to be nice and sweet and kind, to speak when we're spoken to take a back seat. But those days are definitely over, and especially when it comes to property, because if a woman wants to be financially independent, she has to own property. She really does. Because property gives you the ability to lift yourself up with inflation. If you've got a property and you're renting it out, as inflation goes up, so your rent will go up, and you'll be able to retire at the same level as you're living now, if not better. Whereas if you don't have that property to fall back on, and I know that property was my saving grace during COVID. If I didn't have access bonds on my properties, my bonds were all paid off, but I had access bonds which I had not finished. And I was able then to draw on those access bonds, which kept me going. I could pay my salaries during COVID, I could pay my creditors during COVID, and I would not have been there if I did not have the properties to back me up. So I don't think anybody realizes the importance of having a property. The other side of it is, especially as a single mother, you don't want to be in the position where you're renting and your landlord comes and says, sorry, I need the flat, you need to move out. Then you've got to move, you've got to find somewhere else, you've got to move your children to different schools. You want to be able to own that property and say, this is mine, this is my home, I'm going to live here. And I think that's what, for me, the strength of women. And that's why it's so important as women to make sure that we look after ourselves, because sometimes there's nobody else to look after us.
And I think at the initial launch of Femme Property Alliance in Cape Town, Margaret shared such a powerful clip, and her advice to women was invest in property. And it doesn't have to be the property where you live in.
Yeah.
But make sure you access the property market by investing in something that can eventually become part of a portfolio, which will ultimately bring you to financial independence.
Absolutely. I started my property portfolio by saving 100 Rand a month so I could buy my first house way back when I bought a house. And it wasn't a house that I wanted to live in. It was a house that I bought for 2,000 Rand, but I paid it off as quickly as I could. And I had a tenant in there helping me to pay it off. When he paid it off, I sold it. I bought one further up the road, which was a better one. This was a 2-bedroom. I bought a 4-bedroom house further up the road. I did exactly the same thing. I put a tenant in, I paid it off. I bought something else until I had the house of my dreams, which I wanted. I lived in there until my children were old enough and they didn't want to stay at home anymore. And then I sold that again. So you can keep on improving. And I've never, ever lost money in property yet.
And can I just say, this remarkable woman has amassed a property portfolio worth over R1 billion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it starts with one investment.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to start. And you always say, oh, I can't do it. I've got to wait. I'm going to wait for this. You can't wait today. You've got to move with the times. And especially as a woman, you've got to have your property portfolio that you start building up, even if you start with it just a little bit at a time, but it does build up and you just keep working towards it every single day. It gives you a mission to be able to do that.
And again, it gives you confidence.
Yes.
Because financial freedom makes you more confident.
Absolutely.
To make the right decisions.
Yeah.
And it creates momentum for you to grow.
Absolutely. Now, Anita, for myself, as somebody starting out in the property business in America, what would be your advice to people starting out in the property business here in South Africa? If you're a woman sitting at home, your kids are grown up, you haven't got a job, you feel you want to do something, how would you approach going into the property business in South Africa?
So the barrier to entry has become slightly more difficult because you've got to be qualified. We've now got what they call an occupational qualification.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is you must be able to work with people. You must love people.
Yes.
And for me, go in with a mindset of serving and solving problems.
Yeah.
It is not that difficult. But it's also not selling sunset. Everybody looks at these reality TV shows and they think, oh, we're going to dress up and look cute. No, there's a lot of hard work that goes into growing your business because you're a brand within the brand that you are representing.
Absolutely.
And understand that everybody needs to know what you do. So tell them about you, tell them about your business. And as I said, just remember to serve your client.
Absolutely. And the complexities of it, so I had to go back to university and write my degree when I got to the States, which I did. And now I'm going back to school when I get there in April to go to write my broker's degree. But there's a lot of hard work. And the other thing is you are never off duty. It's not a 9-to-5 job.
Yes.
You are there 24/7. And especially when I work on 3 continents, I work in the UK, USA, and South Africa in property. That is a 24-hour job. I get phoned at midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, whenever. You have to be available to take that call because you never know that might be the call that will make a difference in your life.
Absolutely, 100%. That Dolly Parton song, Working 9 to 5.
Yeah,
this is not a 9 to 5 job.
Yeah. Just tell us about Femme Property Alliance. We're having this amazing convention coming up in Sandton. Tell us about that.
Oh, really excited. And I think it's just proven to me how necessary this conversation is because it's supported by the most powerful women in the property space in South Africa. We've got the executive of ABSA Home Loans, Nondumiso Ncapai, the big boss lady. That's our keynote speaker. We've got Thato Ramaili, who's the CEO of the PPRA, the regulatory body for the property industry in South Africa. Michelle Dickens, the CEO of PayProp, the absolute boss lady of PropTech in our space, and many more. And it's, for me, incredibly humbling to see how many ladies are leaning in on the conversation and saying, let's chat, let's talk about this. I agree with you. It's definitely something that we need to grow. And then Femme Property Alliance is not only hosting these launches to connect people, we are going to host monthly workshops, online workshops, where we are going to upskill ladies in the property space.
Oh, wonderful.
From classes on scaling business, social media and the importance of it in growing your brand, to, the basics.
Yeah.
What do you do as a real estate professional and how do you grow your brand?
Yes.
And to me, that is incredibly important, is to be able to share the skills with your network and to grow together.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be quite amazing. I really can't wait for it. I think it's going to be fantastic.
And of course, our incredible property guru, Margaret Hirsch, is going to be here as well. She's not only a massive entrepreneur in South Africa, she's also an international realtor abroad.
Yes.
Going back to school,
Yeah.
I really have a tremendous amount of admiration for you, starting from the bottom.
Yeah, I had to learn everything from the bottom because everything in America is completely different from here. And of course, we're going to have our mutual friend, Yael, Geffen there from Sotheby's. She's CEO of Sotheby's, amazing, amazing person, been in property for many years, knows everything about property in South Africa and abroad.
And I said to her, Yael, it is so important for your voice to be heard because Yael is one of the biggest contributors in terms of published articles in the property space. She's well equipped. She's shown us what it means to stand in your power, to speak up and show yourself. So I'm very excited. She's a very well-known and accomplished MC and speaker, motivational speaker. So it's going to be super.
Going to be fantastic. You have to be a realtor to join Femme Property Alliance. What do you have to do and how do you go about it?
That's the beauty about this movement. I'm saying it's open to anybody in the property industry. So you don't have to be a property practitioner. You can be a mortgage originator. You can be a conveyancer. It's a network where we want to unite women. So you can become a member. You can go to our website, www.femmepropertyalliance.co.za, and there's annual and monthly membership subscriptions available at nominal rates. But it's going to be so worth it because you're going to open yourself up to a network because it's all about networking. And then obviously the opportunity to grow and learn with our monthly workshops. That's already been published on the website.
Okay, and that's going to be fantastic. And we've got that lovely sisterhood of women who are interested in property, who are working in property on a daily basis. Where exactly is it and when and what time and how do we join?
Super excited to share that it's going to be hosted at the ABSA Norton Rose Fulbright Auditorium in Sandton, Johannesburg. There's limited seating available, but it is on the 13th of February and we are having a Q&A session as part of the speaker lineup. So you'll be able to participate in the conversation and it's going to be from 10 a.m. in the morning until 2 p.m. in the afternoon.
Wow, that's amazing. So I'll hope to see you there. Anita will be there, I'll be there, and we're inviting you to come and join us. So look forward to seeing you. Thank you.